for 56 shows here at Grey Eagle, and it's time to talk some NFL. And I'm just going to say that this is where Cowboys fans in Canada particularly have come to talk this morning. So I want to welcome in Jeff Reinebold from Sky Sports over in Europe, the Alouette special teams coordinator as well. JR, let's jump right into it. To see you, my man, you're looking great. Hey, Cowboys, one fan says here, penalties cost the game, not a botched quarterback sneak at the end. We're jumping right into it, Coach. What happened with the Dallas Cowboys yesterday?
Well, a little bit of all of that, Rod. You know, they just didn't play well enough to win, and you know, I'll go back to a coaching axiom that hangs in the offices at the University of Alabama. You're either coaching it or you're allowing it, and the number of penalties, 14 penalties in an NFL game, is, especially in a playoff game, is unreal. And I think the defensive line must have had 5 of those just themselves. You know, holding, hands to the face, just inexcusable things you can't really explain even. Like Lawrence is grabbing the pulling guard one time and tackling him. I mean, it's just completely outrageous. And that's the reason that they're going home.
So did the 49ers win it or did the Cowboys lose? I would favor the latter, but are we giving the 49ers enough credit?
Yeah, I think 49ers played actually pretty well. Jimmy made one bad throw late in the game. But you know, I thought Kyle Shanahan did a good job. They really schemed well in that game. Deebo Samuel's an outstanding player and can do so much for their football team. But you know, the intensity in the stadium was, you know, electric, like you would want it to be, a playoff atmosphere. And you know, this now is 25 years, Rod, since Cowboys have won a championship. And you know, that the standard is still the same in Dallas. You're measured by Super Bowls, by nothing else. And, you know, it's been 25 years now for the Cowboys.
Well, you're a coach, so I don't know how you feel. I would not ask you to advocate or even if you think Mike McCarthy should stay or go. But if you're Jerry Jones, what are you going to do?
Well, you know, that's been always the issue. You know, the Cowboys have always been, or for the last 25 years have been anyway, a team that was all hat and no cattle, as they say in Texas. And, you know, on paper, you look at them on paper, and they're a dynamic football team. They got great receivers. You got a great quarterback. You know, the offensive line, you know, 2 running backs. In my opinion, Pollard is probably a more dynamic back than Zeke is. Zeke has the big reputation, but, you know, this is a production business. And when you look at the 2 of them when they got the ball in their hands, you know, Pollard's the better player. Defensively, Dan Quinn did a great job of, you know, fix that thing because it was a mess last year at this time. But again, you know, they're too good a football team to be going home at this point. And, you know, that's not taking anything away from the 49ers. The 49ers won on the road, which is hard to do in pro football. But certainly the Cowboys underachieved at the most critical moments.
A lot of blame to go around. I want to ask you about the other games, the Patriots Meltdown in Buffalo. I had them picked to be one of the upsets this weekend. Wasn't even close. What was your take of that one?
No, well, you know, it was amazing to me. And I was talking to Steve Tasker today on my podcast, and, you know, we both felt the same thing. I told him, I said, Steve, you know, after the second Dawson Knox touchdown, the body language of the Patriots was one of a team that had just realized they couldn't win the game. I mean, it was a beatdown. And, you know, in baseball, the best a pitcher can do is throw a perfect game. And there have only been a very few of those in the history of baseball. But if you were given a perfect game to a quarterback, you'd have to look at Josh Allen. You have more touchdown passes than you have incompletions. He get 5 touchdown passes and 4 incompletions in the game. He played outstanding football. And they never gave the Patriots a chance to do what they wanted to do, which is get into big sets and run the ball. When the game got to be a 2-score game, it was really over because the Patriots, Mac Jones, just not ready for that kind of game as a young quarterback. I think he's got a bright future, but they are not dynamic at receiver. They struggled to push the ball up the field. And when they got down by 2 scores, really they had no chance.
Please speak for all coaches when I ask you why Tom Brady was in the game so late.
I don't speak. Hey, be careful about me speaking for anybody but me. But you know, it was kind of crazy, I thought, because, you know, you saw Wirtz goes down in the first quarter. Jensen goes down in the first quarter. They got all kinds of injury issues anyway. It was really surprising to me that you would, and they tried to protect him with the calls and all of it, but you got a right tackle that's in there, and he's struggling bad. And, I understand that you want to close the game out, but if they lose Brady, they're done. And I think there are a lot of people that had those very same questions. What in the world is he doing in there this late in the game?
Seems like that's what you do. That's what coaches do. I don't know why. That just what? No. Who's his backup? I don't even know. We've never known the backup to Tom Brady or any other starter, really, for the most part. Coach, you called tonight's Rams-Cardinals game an epic showdown.
Turn around and hand it off. What's that?
Yeah, exactly. Let him do it. Yeah. You called tonight's Rams-Cardinals game epic. Do you think it will be?
Yeah, it should be. It should be. Here's the thing. You're looking at a Cardinals team that plays much, much better on the road. For whatever reason, they play really good football on the road and then struggle at home. So they're going into SoFi. We saw the warts on the Rams last week against the 49ers. If the Cardinals will run the ball, and be physical with the Rams, they've got a chance because their defense, the Cardinals' defense, is pretty good. Now, if Kingsbury wants to get cute and throw it all over the yard, the quarterback's that's not his thing. Again, he's too inconsistent as a young quarterback right now. But then on the other hand, you look at Stafford. And if Stafford throws 2 or 3 interceptions, which has kind of been what he's done the last 6 weeks of the season, the Rams are going to struggle also. So I think it's going to be a great football game.
Me too. And the Rams at times have been pretty erratic this year. This is a super team, Jeff, built to play in the Super Bowl in their own stadium, but they had that 3-game losing streak. Do you think they can get it all together on the same day? Like, what do you expect out of the Rams tonight?
Well, the thing that concerns me about the Rams, when you look at them, RP, you've got Floyd, you've got Miller on the other side. You got the best defensive lineman in football in the middle of it. They got Jalen Ramsey in the secondary. You've got 4 or 5 premier defensive players. And yet, they struggle to stop people. They struggle to stop people. And what concerns me a little bit about them is there is some soft football that they put on film where people just bully them around. And that's what the 49ers did to them in the second half. They just got in 2 tight ends and just pounded them. They got to get that fixed because, when you put whatever you put on tape that you don't do well, you're going to get a bunch of it until you show people that you defended or that you fixed it. Because right now, they can't stop the run. Aaron Donald is the best defensive lineman in football, and they can't stop the run.
And Kyler Murray can throw it. He can scramble. They got a decent enough ground game. So you've sold me on what a great game is going to be. The Rams, 3.5-point favorites at Bet Regal. I'm taking it, but I can't wait to watch the game. Coach, thanks for the analysis as always. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll catch up with you in a week.
Hey, do you have Flurry on yet?
Next hour.
Okay, do me a favor, will you? I don't know anything about hockey. I know nothing about it. I don't even pretend to know. But I tell you what, I know high-level athletes and I know great competitors. And tell him that I thought he was my favorite hockey player. I love to watch him play.
He plays with fire. He's a tremendous person. I will pass it along, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. See ya.
Jeff Reinebold checking in from Sky Sports in Europe.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of the Rod Pedersen Show here on YouTube.